Hi there, it's January 17th and time for Proverbs 17. Deep into the Proverbs now. I've always thought of this chapter as a Thanksgiving chapter, just because of a few of the verses in here. Like verse 1 Better is a dry morsel with quiet than a house full of feasting with strife. All right? Better to stay home sometimes than to go to these huge family functions. There's a feasting, and, there's always somebody in every family that doesn't agree with anything that you believe in or agree with. Right? It leads to arguments and fights, and sometimes it's better to avoid the strife, right? To her servant who deals wisely will rule over a son who acts shamefully. Right? We don't have servants, but and will share in the inheritance as one of their brothers. Possible. This is always an important one. The crucible is for silver, and the furnace is for gold, and the Lord tests hearts. Right? The Lord trieth the hearts. Now, I have some foundry experience in my background. I know you take metal, any kind of metal, whether it be iron or silver or gold, and you put it in a furnace or crucible, which is a heated furnace with the bowls already heated. And as you heat it, and as it turns to a liquid and melts and gets very hot, all of the impurities float to the top, and then you could take a ladle and scrape off the impurities and throw them away, and what's left is pure silver, pure gold, pure iron, pure metal. Okay? It says the Lord does that with your heart. Okay, if you ask him to purify your heart, it is a process that can be painful. Right? Melting everything down and scraping off all the impurities to have what's left pure. How about that? The Lord does that with hearts. For an evildoer listens to wicked lips, and a liar gives ear to a mischievous tongue. Mischievous tongue. Yeah, they do. They all kind of stick together, huh? 5. Whoever mocks the poor insults his maker. He who is glad at calamity will not go unpunished. Right. You mock the poor, you're insulting God who made them. Okay? And you're glad at somebody else's calamity, that will not go unpunished. Okay? It says in other parts of Proverbs, if you gloat and laugh and boast when your enemy falls, God may take the punishment off of them and put it on you. Okay? Jesus said to love your enemies. 6. Grandchildren are the crown of the aged, and the glory of children is their fathers. Right? The glory of children is their fathers. Right? When your grandkids come to visit and your children come and bring them to visit, do you ever notice how your children are very proud of you to their children, right? That's my dad. That's your grandpa, right? That's a good feeling. 7. Fine speech is not becoming to a fool. Still less is false speech to a prince, right? Some people you can't tell things to. They're not going to listen, okay? And a wise person can hear fake stuff right away. 8. A bribe is like a magic stone in the eyes of the one who gives it. Wherever he turns, he prospers. This is not a good thing, okay? This is not a good thing, okay? Magic stone, precious stone, right? Bribing people is never a good thing, okay? Especially in government. It happens all the time, okay? These people that we have hired and paid to represent us take bribes from other people, right? And they're no longer representing us. And a lot of them get extremely wealthy by doing this. It should be illegal. It is in some countries, not in this one, unfortunately. They call it lobbying, right? We're going to leave that alone. 9, whoever covers an offense seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates close friends. Okay? That's gossip again. He's talking about gossip again, right? Whoever covers an offense seeks love, but he who repeats a matter, that's gossip, right? Cover up an offense, you're seeking love, okay? I'm going to overlook that. Did you hear what so-and-so did? Okay. We're separating friends, okay? Just, we talk about gossip all the time, and God hates it, okay? A rebuke goes deeper into a man of understanding than 100 blows into a fool. Okay. You say the right thing to a wise person, an understanding person. That's going to speak volumes to them, right? 11, an evil man seeks only rebellion, and a cruel messenger will be sent against him, right? Don't get even. It says that all over the Bible too, right? Let God do that. If you get even with somebody, you are putting yourself on their level and repeating their sin, and it becomes your sin, right? 12, let a man meet a she-bear robbed for a cub is rather than a fool in his folly, in his foolishness, right? Now, if you know anything about bears, they are very large. They have paws that are about this big and claws that are about 6 inches long, and you take their babies away, that could be the end of you, okay? Better to meet that than get caught up with a fool in his foolishness. Mm-hmm. And that includes these protests and all this other junk that's going on. 13, if anyone returns evil for good, it will not depart from his house. Right. I can't imagine somebody doing something nice for you and you do something evil for them in turn. I can't even imagine that. I guess I don't think like that, but some people do. And the evil will be there. You ever met somebody there's just evil in their house? Right? 14, the beginning of strife is like letting out water, so quit before the quarrel breaks out. That is, should have been added to chapter 15, right? In our lessons about arguing, right? Quit before the quarrel breaks out, right? Just don't calm, kind, right? Don't blurting out words. 15, he who justifies the wicked and he who condemns the righteous are both alike an abomination to the Lord. Okay. And that goes on, right? There are some people in very high positions in this country, right? One of the highest positions you can have in any country is to be a judge. Okay? You are given the power of life and death. And some people abuse that, okay? It's evident everywhere. God doesn't like this, okay? They will be judged particularly harshly because they were given great power and they abused it, okay? 16, why should a fool have money in his hand to buy wisdom when he has no sense? Right. You can buy wisdom, you could go to college, but if you got no sense, you're just throwing your money away, right? 17, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. There's a note over here. so that he is more than a friend, even a brother that helpeth in time of adversity. Right. When you, right, you have your friends, they'll be all the time, and they will help you, but family, okay, your family. It doesn't have to be blood, okay, brother. They're born for hard times, right? Stick with you, thick and thin. Okay. More of this. One who lacks sense gives a pledge and puts up security in the presence of his neighbor. And we said he would mention this in every other chapter, and he does, sometimes more about co-signing, okay? Never co-sign for somebody else's loan. It becomes your loan, you get nothing out of it, and you are now under the control of somebody you don't even know. Just don't. I mean, he reiterates this over and over and over again, so it must be serious, right? 19, whoever loves transgression loves strife, and he who makes his door high seeks destruction. He exalteth his gate, lifteth himself up above his degree. That's what that means. He makes his gate high. Right? That means put yourself on a pedestal, right? And you know what? There are people, we know people that just love strife. They love the trouble. They love all the tension it brings in. Some people just mad for no reason. Right? 20, a man of crooked heart does not discover good, and one with a dishonest tongue falls into calamity. Right? Sooner or later, they all get in trouble, right? 21, he who sires a fool gets himself sorrow, and the father of a fool has no joy. Right? Think of all these protesters and looters and, people destroying priceless artwork and gluing their hands to the street. What do their parents think? They must be so proud, right? Not always. Right. Yeah, 22 is a famous one. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Right? If you crush a person's spirit, right, it's the worst you can do. Most homeless people, okay, that are just so depressed have a crushed spirit. It's something that's very hard to bring back, right? 23, the wicked accepts a bribe in secret to pervert the ways of justice. Now, we were just reading about a magic stone, weren't we? I just want to match the color. Can't find it. That's weird, and I don't see it. Maybe I didn't highlight it, right? She bear, rebellion, standing, covers in it. Oh, here it is, pink. A bribe is like a magic stone in the eyes of the one who gives it. Wherever he turns, he prospers. That's 8. That's a pledge. Calamity, sires himself. Joyful heart. There you go. The wicked accepts a bribe in secret. See, now I messed it up. Stop it. True. So, the wicked accepts a bribe in secret to pervert the ways of justice. Right? We were just talking about that, weren't we? Up here in verse 8. That's a magic stone, the bribe, the peaceful, and they have big companies, here's $1 million, spread it out amongst these people. We want this bill passed because it will be advantageous to our business. Right. Let's not go there. The discerning sets his face forward toward wisdom, but the eyes of a fool are on the ends of the earth. Now, that's a good statement, right? There's someone that says, someday my ship's going to come in, someday, and then they die, and someday never comes. Right? Set your face towards wisdom. Right? Eyes of a fool are on the ends of the earth. The foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her who bore him. Right? I said that up there too, right? Man who sorrows a fool has no joy. 26. To impose a fine on a righteous man is not good, nor to strike the noble for their uprightness. There are people who are upright and doing good, and the evil people attack them for it, right? We won't mention any names. 27. Whoever restrains his words has knowledge, and he who has a cool spirit is a man of understanding, right? Keep your mouth shut, right? That means whoever keeps his mouth shut and he has a cool spirit and is a man of understanding. This goes with it. Even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise. When he closes his lips, he is deemed intelligent. Right? Keep your mouth shut. So there you go. That's Proverbs 17. We'll go over the highlights here. Thanksgiving verse, right? Better is a dry morsel with quiet than a house full of feasting with strife. Stuff that goes along with it. Right. Better to stay home. 3, we went over this. The crucible is for silver, the furnace is for gold, and the Lord tests hearts, right? If you want the Lord to purify your heart, ask him. He will. It is a painful process, but the result is amazing, okay? 5 is highlighted. Whoever mocks the poor insults his maker, and he who is glad at calamity will not go unpunished, right? You get these fires going on on the West Coast now, whatever started them, who knows, we won't get into that. But the fact is, a lot of people lost their homes and their livelihoods and everything they had, okay? And a lot of these people were famous, okay? If you're glad that they lost everything they owned, that will not go unpunished, okay? You should never be glad, oh, I'm so glad he has nothing now. That's just not right, okay? He who is glad at calamity will not go unpunished. Remember this when you see all that crap when you're scrolling on the internet and them laughing at these people who lost everything. Highlighted 8. A bribe is like a magic stone in the eyes of the one who gives it. Wherever he turns, he prospers. The briber, right, gets what they want, and we go down here too. 23. The wicked accepts a bribe in secret to pervert the ways of justice. Put those two together, and you have a theme, don't you? 9 is highlighted. Whoever covers an offense seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates close friends. A gossip separates close friends, okay? That's the gossip separates close friends. Because it's going to get around and it'll get back to that person, and they'll know that you're the only one they told. Now everybody knows, and he knows right where it came from, okay? You just lost a friend who felt enough of you to trust you with the secret, and you spread it out. All right. 12 is highlighted. Let a man meet a she-bear robbed of her cubs rather than a fool in his foolishness, right? That'd be these people out there gluing their hands to the street and destroying things, right? You don't want to get caught up in that. 14, the beginning of strife is like letting out water, so quit before the quarrel breaks out, right? Quit. Don't get wrapped up in that stuff, okay? And these arguments, you see something on the internet that you don't agree with, just let it go, okay? Just keep scrolling. That's my motto, just keep scrolling. If you say, well, that guy's wrong, I'm going to set him straight, right? You're just starting a quarrel, okay? And you're going to get attacked, so just keep scrolling. Okay. 15, he who justifies the wicked and condemns the righteous are both alike an abomination to the Lord. And we talked about this, right? people in positions of great power who have the decisions of life and death in their hands, and they abuse that, right? Either for money or for power or for personal beliefs or whatever is not supposed to come into the picture, right? God hates that. 17, a friend is loved at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. Okay? Your family, your brother. I have a brother. I have two brothers, right? And we're in our 60s now, so we very rarely talk anymore, birthdays and stuff like that. But if any of us was in serious trouble, the other brother would be there no matter what, okay? If you're not talking, if you're mad at them, they would be there for you. The brothers are born for that. 19, whoever loves transgression loves strife, and he who makes his door high puts himself on a pedestal, right? Build yourself up. That's called arrogance, right? Seeks destruction, right? Arrogance, don't be like that. And we went over 23. And 27, whoever restrains his word has knowledge, and he who has a cool spirit is a man of understanding. And we'll add the other one. Even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise. When he closes his lips, he is deemed intelligent. Right? Sometimes it's best to just sit back and listen and not say anything. Even if you're an expert on the matter, just sit and not say anything. So there you go. That's Proverbs 17. Lots of good stuff in there. I think we're on through the New Testament in a year. I think we are Matthew 12, I think. Yep, 12. Half of 12 we'll do today. So stay tuned for that later on this afternoon. But give us a like if you think about it. We'll keep doing these Proverbs over and over again until we get them in here where they belong and in here where they can stay, right? So till next time, be good. We'll see you.